Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be showing you guys these super beautiful deep smile line French tip nails today, and I will be using a brand new polygel kit that is available on Amazon. But before we get into that part, I am going to apply some dehydrator and some tips onto my nails. And while I am doing that, I do want to remind you guys to please hit subscribe and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on any of my videos. Plus, once you're subscribed, you'll be part of my polished pride, and who doesn't want that? So my nails were already prepped, and if you guys have not seen my prep video, I will have it linked in the iCard above because I did show you guys how I removed these nails and prepped for this set as well. So I scrubbed in the dehydrator on all of my nails, then I used my very favorite Not Polish Universal nail tips. Then I cut off the tip of that because they are in a stiletto shape, and because I cut them a little bit shorter, it would have left me with almost like a square to tapered square shape, and I wanted this to be very coffin, almost ballerina-like, since the tip is so much skinnier. So I'm just using my Tammy Taylor peel and stick file to clean up the shape and make sure that they taper in far enough. And then I'm just going to go over and blend in the tips with my natural nail plate. Once I had gotten that all done, I did cleanse the surface of the nails from all of the dust just with some alcohol. And now I'm using my Young Nails Protein Bond as my primer. So I do apply the Protein Bond twice on all of my nails. It's not always necessary to do it twice for everyone, but they do recommend for problem lifters to do it twice. And I am considered a problem lifter because I am always wrestling with my son, and constantly my nails are getting smashed in the wrestling, so I end up with a lot of liftings. So if I can save my nails from damage by applying an extra coat of Protein Bond, I absolutely will. I'm still stronger than my 13-year-old boy though, just don't tell him I told you that. So now I'm going in with my favorite Coty rubber base gel, and I'm going to apply this to all of my nails before going in with the base gel from my polygel kit. I prefer to do 2 layers of base coat, one being the rubber base coat, and then the second being whatever comes with the product that I'm using. And now for the star of the show, this polygel kit from the new company Opove. And oh my gosh, guys, wait until you see these colors. They are so freaking pretty. Oh, like the nudes in here are absolutely gorgeous. There's some more pinky nudes. There's a really brown nude that would be beautiful on my women of color. Like, oh, this kit, I'm so in love. Plus, it's got the most beautiful cuticle pusher I have ever seen in my life. Quickly, I do want to mention that this kit was sent to me by the company, and I do thank them so much for sending it. But just know, guys, that it never changes my opinion on the product. So I just wanted to show you guys quickly the little pamphlet that comes with it, and then they did put in some, I think, 4 or 5 free forms. These are the dual forms. Now this spatula on this double-sided polygel brush, it's so much skinnier than the regular spatulas. I've never seen that side of a polygel brush be so skinny. So that was pretty cool. I like that. It fits better in the forms. Now look at this. It's gorgeous. Oh, I'm just in love with that cuticle pusher. So you also get some slip solution and your base and top coat. Then you get a whole container of bling. It's got the AB flat back rhinestones. You get some stars and moons. So beautiful. So we're just going to get into swatching these colors. This 01 white color I will be using in the set today. Then we've got 04, which is a beautiful pink. 07, which is a very pinky nude. 14, this is the shade that I used for the nail bed today. And then this one, this is the one I was talking about, that brown as a nude for my women of color. Oh my gosh, guys. Like, all of these colors can go on anyone, right? But those very brown nudes, even like in that deeper tone, they're pretty hard to find in Polygel. So to see this company put this out in their first set, oh, I love it. I love it. So now I'm just, like I said before, I had already done the base coat one layer, and now I'm going to use the base coat that comes with the kit. So once I get that applied on all 5 of my nails, I will cure it in the lamp for 60 seconds. And then we will start with the application. I do have to apologize because there are some times in this video where you can't exactly see what I'm doing because I was off screen. And I am so sorry about that, guys. I changed my filming setup, and that's why my last couple videos had so many pieces that like were off screen. So I did cut out quite a bit from this video, and again, I apologize for that. I have a new stand coming tomorrow, so I'll have better angles for you guys. I should be able to angle it so that you see more of like my point of view rather than just an overhead shot, so that way when my nails are pointed down like they are right here, you'll be able to see a lot better what I'm doing. So hopefully that will fix that issue of me going off screen, because I'll be able to see my phone better when I'm recording, and also it'll help with that pesky Tatiana. Okay, so I squeezed the polygel onto the nails, and now I'm using the slip solution on my brush, and I'm starting back at the cuticle area. I'm hoping you guys can see that I am pressing the very like front part of that where it's up at the cuticle. I'm pressing it almost completely flush with my natural nails. Like there is barely any product there. Once I've gotten that pressed out pretty flat, I do the same thing along my sidewalls, and then I start to pull the product down the length of the nail. Now with this product, it is a more firm consistency, which as of recent I have started to prefer. I preferred it in the beginning of me doing polygel nails, and then I started to prefer a softer formula after that. But I don't know, I like both formulas. I think it's just about having the experience with it now that I can work with whatever formula that there is. So just go with whatever formula is easiest for you. But with a soft formula, you can't glide over the surface like you can with this. So if you notice, I'm able to run my brush down the length of the nail to smooth it out, so that in my filing process, I have a much easier time. If this was a softer formula, I would not be able to do that. So I always just make sure to touch up my sidewalls and underneath, just make sure everything is nicely smoothed out. And then I did have some excess product there, so I just cut that off the tip and pressed everything back into shape. Now once I have this cured here in just a moment, it does not have an apex yet. So now I'm just adding another bead of product right in that back third of the nail, just so I can add my apex. If you notice, the bead is very small. It doesn't need to be huge because you don't need a ton of product or a super high apex. You just want to have that strength there so that your nails are not going to break. So again, I start by pressing that a little bit more flush in the back and then on the sidewalls. Then I leave the bulk of the product right in that center, and I just take the very front edge of the product and start feathering it down the nail. That just helps to make sure it is nicely blended along the nail so that I don't have any like harsh gaps or like really like lines of demarcation where the product ends. So again, just smoothing that out along the cuticle area. And I'll continue to pat and press and pull until that is all nicely smoothed and shaped. Once this one is done, I will get into showing you guys how I did my deep smile lines using the reverse French method. Okay, so I'm going to cure that, and now I'm just getting a pretty good size bead of product. This is more than I would put here if it was just like the nail bed, but because I'm going to be doing the reverse French technique, you do need a pretty high wall of product, a nice high ledge to file against later. So this is more product than I normally would use in this area. And again, it's going to be the same way where I'm pressing back at the cuticle first, then I'll go along the side walls, and then I'll start pulling down the product until I get it kind of elongated, because I will be elongating my natural nail beds. I'm just going to pull that center a little bit higher up and then press in the sides to make those nice deep smile lines. I'm only going to show this on the one nail as well. And I do my best to clean up the smile line so that I don't have a ton of filing to do. I want to get it as close to the end result as I can without taking up too much time, right? Then I'll go ahead and give it a 60-second cure, and we will clean it up with the hand file. So now that that has been cured, you do need to wipe off that sticky inhibition layer with some alcohol before going into filing. Otherwise, you can end up gumming up your file, and also the uncured product will kind of fly onto you in the dust. That can lead to allergies, so just make sure you're wiping off that sticky layer before going in with filing. And now I'm just going to use my hand file and clean up that smile line. I am showing you on this nail instead of the thumb because the thumb was completely out of frame, and I'm sorry that you guys don't get to see this entire part because I do move off camera a few times. It's hard for me to get it on camera with my current setup because when I'm filing, I'm paying very close attention to what I'm doing rather than looking at my phone to make sure I'm in the shot. But like I said, new stand coming tomorrow, better setup, so it'll be easier for me to keep everything in frame for you guys. So I clean those smile lines up, and then I'm just wiping off the dust with some more alcohol. Now I'm going to use that white polygel from the kit, and I'm going to apply that onto the nails and start pressing that into shape as well. So the way I like to do my French is I apply one that's kind of, I almost apply it in like a Y shape, right? So I want to have those beads up on the sides so I can press them into that deep smile line, and then I can pull the rest of the product down the length of the nail. Now you're going to notice in my application the white is going to go on top of that nail bed color. That's okay, that is what the reverse method is all about, and the reverse method is so much easier than the traditional method. So if you guys are wanting to learn how to do French, I would highly recommend the reverse method, because as long as you've got that high ledge, you can put that white on top, and then once you file it down, which you guys will see when I file that part down in a little while, and those lines just crispen right up. It is beautiful. Now every time I'm moving my brush off camera, that is me dipping into the slip solution. The white polygel is softer, more pigmented, and stickier than the other colors, so you will need more slip solution. I would also recommend going in with 2 thinner layers rather than 1 thick layer. On my ring finger and my pinky, it was not a problem, but on my thumb, it was too thick. The light was not able to penetrate the opacity of that white. That's not just this way for this brand. That is like that with all white polygels and hard gels that I have ever tried. I don't usually like to work with white polygels or hard gels because they are so opaque and because that light doesn't penetrate it. So then what happens is as you're filing, you come up with wet spots that need to be cured again. And you have to continue to do that as you're filing it down. Also, like on my thumb, even after I was completely done filing, there were still parts in the middle that were uncured, and I had no idea until 2 days later my thumb cracked so bad that I had to remove the tip of the thumb and reapply. And it was very frustrating. I mean, at least I was able to save the nail bed shape, so I didn't have to redo that or the bling. What I did was I filed down the top coat with just a little buffer, and then I used a paper form and applied the polygel right on top once again, and that fixed it. But yeah, just do yourself a favor and do it the right way first. Go in with 2 thin layers rather than 1 thick layer, and you can thank me later. So I'm just going to continue to do the same thing with the pinky nail, and you're going to see a little bit better on this pinky nail when I press the smile line, or the white up against the smile line on the right side of the screen. I know on the ring finger you weren't able to see that because I had to cut it out since I wasn't in frame, but on this one you'll actually be able to see me press it into shape. So I'm just making sure that I'm pressing that white very high up. That way it completely covers where I have created that deep smile. If you don't go high enough up with this, then when you're in your filing process, you're going to lose the sharp point of that smile line, and it's not going to be good. So just make sure you go up a little higher than you need to, and then in the filing, it will go down exactly. You'll see, like right now it's up higher than it needs to be. When I go and file it down with my e-file, it's going to remove that excess from the top and only leave you with the part that recedes into that smile shape. I hope that makes sense, guys. Hopefully it'll make sense when you see me actually doing it with the file. So I'm just going to continue to keep my brush nice and moist, but not wet with the slip solution. If you notice, when I go off screen, I come back and I drain my brush a little bit before going in and touching the polygel. If you go in with too much slip solution or too much alcohol on your brush, you're going to flood the product and it's going to cause a product breakdown. It won't cure properly and it will weaken the nails. So just make sure that it is moist but not soaking wet. And then every time I notice my brush is starting to, even in the slightest, stick to the polygel, I go back and re-moisten it with that slip solution. Okay, so we've got another 60-second cure, and I am removing that inhibition layer once again from all of the nails. Then I'm going to go in with my e-file and we will start shaping these babies up. So this is my very favorite 5-in-1 bit, and I am using it on a very high speed because I've got a lot to debulk. These apexes are far too high. There's far too much product, so I need to cut through it and get it thinned out to the proper shape. So I'm just starting right on top of that nude color, then pulling down the length of the nail. And if you notice, as I do this, the smile line will reveal itself more and more and get sharper and sharper. You can see here on that side profile that it is way, way, way too high. So I'm just going to continue to file it down. But it needs to be that high in order for you to, 1, file up against, and 2, so that when you apply that white on top, if I had left this nude shade at the proper height, then I put the white on top and I can't file it off because I only have the height that's needed, right? So you need to go higher than what is actually needed. So I'm going to continue to do the same thing on my ring finger and my pinky. I will do the main bit of shaping with my hand file. Unfortunately, I was not able to get everything in the frame for the hand filing portion. There is a little bit in there for you guys though. And then also I will be filming a complete filing video for you guys and posting it this coming week. So if you're interested in seeing how I do my filing and shaping, including my hand filing, Make sure that you are subscribed with your notifications on so that you don't miss it. I'm just going to be quiet now and let you guys watch the satisfying removal of this bulk.
I broke a few hearts or two, a couple too many times. I let good things go up in flames, they blow up like dynamite. If I'm being honest, no, I got a problem. No one made me wanna change. Then there was you, it feels so new. I just wanna get this right. No, I'm not a role model. Nothing ever seems to last. Baby, now that I got it, I'll be better with you. I'll be better with you. Now that I got it. Myself, I like myself way more when you're by my side. Just stay the night, it's been a while. You're not like those other guys. If I'm being honest, you're all that I wanted, cause you make me wanna change. I broke a few hearts or two, now I'm gonna get this right. No, I'm not a role model. Nothing ever seems to last. Baby, now that I got it, I'll be better with you.
So now I'm going back to my 180 grit Tammy Taylor peel and stick file, and I'm first going to sharpen up my sidewalls, make sure everything is nice and straight. Then I go over and start blending the top of the nail down into a smooth transition, kind of like a beveled edge into that sidewall. I don't want a harsh shape. I don't want any sharpness on those sidewalls, so I want it to be a very nice beveled transition. Then I start going up the sidewalls of my natural nail, back along the length of the cuticle to make sure it transitions to my natural nail plate perfectly smooth. Then I go down the other sidewall. Finally, I will go over the surface of the nail, just like you're seeing here. And because I am right-handed, when I'm doing my left hand, I move the file in my hand. But when I'm doing my right hand, using my non-dominant hand, I like to hold the file still, and I use my hand to move the nail back and forth along the length of the file. I hope that's a helpful tip for some of you guys that don't know it quite yet. It will help you in your filing to make your lines cleaner and your transitions smoother, everything like that.
Pull up to the spot, you know I open doors. I won't ever blame you cause you're innocent. Let's show you what your future is. We could drive straight to the beach.
Okay, so since I am going to be doing another shaping video this coming week, I just left that one nail in for you guys. Now I'm cleansing the nails with some alcohol, making sure to remove all of the dust, and then we're going to go in for our bling application, which I think is just about everyone's favorite part. I just wanted to show you guys what the nails are looking like as of right now. Now I'm going to use my very favorite Macart rhinestone gel, and on this one I am going to use my AB flatback rhinestones that came in this polygel kit, and I'm going to place them right along that smile line. All of the bling I'm using today came with the kit, except for the two little kind of half circles that'll go on my middle finger, which you will see here shortly. So I'll let you guys watch while I apply this bling. Now I do cure my nails just a flash cure of 20 seconds before moving into the next nail. That way I don't have to worry about them moving at all while I'm doing my next nail. So on my thumb, I'm just going to do this little triangle formation, and then we'll do the middle finger.
I still love you like crazy. I wanna let you know. Love you like crazy. Even when it gets hard and we wanna let go. Love you like crazy. Never been the type for giving up.
Okay, so these are the two little half circle shapes that I did not use from the kit. I had them already, but I will have them linked down in the description box along with everything I've used in the video today. Now on these French tip nails, I'm going to use my Young Nails stain resistant top coat. That is because white is very easy to stain and you don't really notice it when it's first happening, but as it goes more and more brown from dirt or hair color or whatever it could be, you'll notice it more and more, especially when you go to take down the product and remove the nails. You'll be like, oh my gosh, I didn't even realize it was stained, and then you see the true white and you're just like, oh, that's so dirty. So anytime I'm using white with a glossy top coat, I will always use my Young Nails stain resistant top coat. It is just a wonderful top coat, guys. I highly, highly recommend it. And then also, because I am using my little detail brush to get up and around my stones, the top coat does have a tendency to kind of fall down the sidewalls, so I do use my gloved hand to just wipe off the edges before I cure. That way I can make sure that everything retains its shape. Now when you are applying the top coat, you do want to get right up to the bling, but you don't want to cover the top of it. It will lose its shine, especially when it's an AB type of rhinestone. It won't capture the light the way that it needs to if it is top coated. So go right up to the rhinestones without covering them. That one I did notice that the gel, it had fallen more than just wiping off would fix, so I just flipped my hand upside down to allow that product just to come back to that center point. And then once I get this applied, I will go ahead and top coat my other nails with the top coat that comes in the kit. Now for the Bling Nail, which is this one here, I did put this top coat on top of these gold bars. That is because the gold that is on them, it's like a paint and it will chip away if they are not coated. So just go ahead and put the top coat over the gold bars, but not over top of the gems. And then because I had to put the top coat on top of those, I did get some that went onto the skin, so I'm just using a little cleanup brush to remove that before curing. We'll top coat this last nail, and then I will be cleansing off the French tip nails with rubbing alcohol after everything's been fully cured for 60 seconds. That is because the Young Nails stain resistant top coat, it does have a sticky inhibition layer, so you want to make sure you wipe that away. Now the top coat that came with this kit, it is a no wipe top coat, so there's no need to cleanse those ones. They're good to go once they come out of the lamp. So after I'm done cleansing, we'll go ahead and apply my cuticle oil and we'll be all done, guys. Let me know what you guys think of this set down below. I am absolutely in love with them. My husband loves them too. He loves French tip nails. So when he saw these, he was like, yes, yes, do that all the time. I'm like, no, no, no. My question for you guys today is, do you prefer to wear French tip nails with a deeper smile line, or do you prefer them to be not as deep? I definitely want to know your thoughts on that. So that is all for me today, guys. Make sure you guys let me know what you think of this set down below. Of course, if you have any questions, suggestions, or requests for different sets, let me know down below. I love to hear from you guys. Be sure to hit like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye!